Wait, you're on mute.
You know why I was on mute? Hi, Scott.
Why? Why are you on mute?
Don't have school today. And so I've got 3 kids screaming. And so I just threaten their lives if they scream during this.
Yeah, what people don't realize is that 30 seconds before it goes live, we try to get our lives together, like email, get everything going. And, school's canceled. So we'll see who's watching. But what's going on in your world?
Well, we're on day 2 with no school because yesterday was President's Day. So we're on day 2. So day 2, older kids, no school. You're really trying to figure out things to do when it's this cold out. So pretty much I'm just playing entertainer. We did go, you know what we did yesterday? I wonder if you've done this yet. We rented out an entire movie theater at AMC.
No, I haven't done that. I looked into it for the movie Top Gun, but I don't even know if it's been released or if it's going to get released.
I don't know. We just chose from certain movies, and it ended up being cheaper than buying everyone tickets, and it was so fun for the kids. So I love that pivot that AMC did. So if anyone's thinking, I think it was $99. It was a really good deal, and we had a blast.
Speaking of pivoting, this is the time where we do a shameless plug on Bank of Blue Valley, one of the largest banks in Kansas City. And with our team, with Sean and Felicia, we put together a weekly show Tuesdays at 3, the #1 LinkedIn live show in the business community. And Wendy Reynolds stops by every show,
every week,
somehow wearing different outfits, and gives us a question. So, when is Mentoring Monday, or did that already occur?
Week? No. So we need to talk about this because I am hyped about this, and we have kind of a practice session. If you're a mentor, I'm a mentor for this week. We have a practice session this week to make sure all the tech goes right. So Mentoring Monday, which is usually kind of an expensive event to attend. I remember not being able to afford it when I was brand new in business. It's actually free this year because Bank of Blue Valley is sponsoring the event. It is a virtual event. There's, I think, 37 women mentors. And if you're a woman, you can sign up and come. And Wendy is going to be a mentor. Joni Whitcomb, who's been on the show, is going to be a mentor. I'm going to be a mentor. There's some way better people than me. So, yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Well, I'm excited. 6-7 years ago, when I came out of my cube of cold calling all the time, the network that always took care of me and still takes care of me today is the Women Who Mean Business Network, which I think is one of the greatest honors. And they're a little biased to veterans. They like people that have been in business a while, but they have a lot of the best group of executives, better than any club anyone could ever join. And so I think if people are available, they should definitely go.
Go check it out. So, and I'll put the link over here in a little bit after the show so you can sign up, or you can go just to the Business Journal. It's Kansas City Business Journal who's putting it on. I do want to say hello to the people that are watching. Miss Letitia, remember, we love to network. So get in here in the comments. We get a lot of people that do business from meeting friends over here in the comments. Letitia, former guest, is watching. And Randy, my good friend Randy, also former guest, said, I just blew the you're on mute thing. Of course I did. It's 2 days, no school.
Randy's show, I'm just so impressed that, people just don't realize how many things he's involved in, like being a CEO of a large company. And then he runs his show. He has recently had on a lot of really, really good guests. And I was fortunate to be on the show where they had the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, Tennessee, that the guest was on. So Randy's putting on great shows. So if you're on LinkedIn, go look at Randy's LinkedIn profile and check it out and learn about his show.
Absolutely. They're wonderful, and they're in a good time. They're early in the morning, so you can get in. You're all hyped for the morning. So I love them. And I always get to see a bunch of different people there. So they have a lot of people that join that. So keep saying hello. We have a phenomenal show today. So half the guests you've never met and half the guests I've never met. And it sounds like none of them have ever met. So we're going to get everybody to meet and have some pretty awesome conversation.
Let's dance.
Okay, you ready? You're going to do the music because you said you want to redeem yourself.
No, it's going to be bad, but I like it. Hopefully it doesn't have words so we don't get kicked off Facebook, but you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know what it is. All right, let's go ladies first. The first guest this week is Miss Tammy Buckner. Our second guest is Tiffiney. I'm not saying your last name because we'll get to it. I can't say it. Mr. Jim Kane. and Corey Brown. Thank you guys for joining us. We are so excited that you all came. I think it's going to be so fun because nobody knows anybody, and this is the best way to meet people. So start commenting, letting us know who you are here to see. Very excited about this today. We know you're watching the show because I can see the numbers, and it's like negative 27 degrees out. So grab your drinks and let's get going. Tammy, tell us who you are, what you do, and how you get here.
Hello, my name is Tammy Buckner. I am the co-founder and CEO of WeCodeKC, which is a nonprofit organization where we teach technology and cybersecurity concepts to youth ages 7 to 17. I also run a technology solution company called Tequity Digital. So I am so excited and glad to be here. Thank you, Erin. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming on. I can't wait to dive into more of what you do. What she's doing with kids and coding is amazing, as well as just being a woman in technology.
Tammy, why have so many people heard about your organization? I feel like anyone that's in the software development or technology community knows about your organization. Can you give an idea of size and scale? Because I've never met you before, but I've definitely heard of what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we have been around for the last couple of years. I've been in development for pretty much all my life, but wanted to make sure that kids in the urban core get exposed to technology. So we have been very excited and making sure that and very intentional about sharing our program to as many people as we possibly can. Urban core students and underserved students do not get the opportunity to get exposed. So we are very intentional about sharing everything that we do on a consistent basis everywhere possible. We're on TV, we're on social media. So we get the word around, and we appreciate people such as Erin definitely sharing the word with other people. I mean, I think she shared about me, and I hadn't even met Erin before, so I really appreciate it. But we're just excited about the program. So, and it's a passion. So.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I think I was actually drunk in Times Square, and I texted him like, "We don't know each other, but I'm going to introduce you to this person because they're looking for a program to do something." Right. Just because I love what you all are doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, for sure. We're excited to look forward to hearing some of your wins here in a little bit. Tiffiney, if you've ever seen any of my videos, you've seen some of Tiffiney's products, if not many of Tiffiney's products. Tiffiney, tell us who you are, what you do, and how you get here.
I'm Tiffiney. I am the co-owner and founder of Crossing Broadway, which started as a t-shirt line, which Erin is probably our biggest fan that you would have heard of. And this year we pivoted and just launched an online marketplace for all female entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Can you expand a little bit of what that means, the marketplace?
Yeah, so think Etsy or Amazon. Basically, brands can join us and list their products. They're 100% in charge of their brand. We provide the platform and bring the entrepreneurs together, and then try to make it easy to shop and support women-owned by just clicking one button.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. Like, we just launched November 1st. We have 35 brands and have brought 5 on in the last week. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So, Scott, you know those funny shirts, like the one where I said that I wore that one day that said "Make the world suck less."
Yeah.
Those are Tiffiney's brand.
I'm just shocked you have so many brands that in such a short period of time.
It was sorry, go ahead.
What's a recent one that you're really excited? And I know you're excited about all of them equally, yeah. But if you had to pick one that was just interesting, what's the type of a brand that you're helping?
One that's coming on this week, they haven't loaded yet, is called Blonde Beard, and it is a craft buffalo sauce out of Colorado. And they have like holy hell. They have a chicken and waffle. They have, I don't know. I am pumped to get these in. We're gonna do like a little cooking TikTok once we get them.
TikTok. You on TikTok?
Nope, not even on Instagram. I'm an old soul for a millennial.
Well, we will talk more about it. I'm excited to hear. Definitely, you've had a lot of wins during COVID. Also, your Facebook group and everything. So we'll get into that. But we got to talk to Jim right now. Jim, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get here?
I'm Jim Kane. I am the president and owner of Santa Fe Glass, a long-running Kansas City brand. If you live in the Kansas City area, you may have had your windows or your shower doors or put in by us, and do a lot of commercial work. So you probably didn't know you were looking at our work. If you've ever been to a McDonald's in Kansas City, you've seen our glass. So been around a long time. Met Scott recently, get invited in here. So happy to be here, guys.
Jim, can you give everyone an idea of the size and scope of your business in terms of locations, how long you've been around, and just number of employees?
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how spread out you are throughout the city.
So yeah, we have 4 locations. We are the largest glass company in Western Missouri, and the largest in the Kansas City area. I acquired the business within the last year. I'm actually an Army veteran, so I'm doing the entrepreneur by acquisition thing. The guy who really built the business was Dan Donovan, who himself acquired it in the 80s from the original founders. So the company's been around since 1958 in the Kansas City area. Santa Fe Glass confuses a lot of people. It started in Independence, Missouri, which is the trailhead of the Oregon, the California, and the Santa Fe trails. So the 3 guys who started the company back in 1958, when they came back from the Korean War, they were very historically minded. So they sold to a veteran, Dan Donovan, who grew the business again from 1986 through last year, and then he sold it to me at a veteran, recently retired from the Army. So been around a long time. It was a little bigger at one point. Dan sold off his auto glass division, which was about 1/3 of the company, and that is currently Safe Light of Kansas City. That was Santa Fe Glass's auto division. So we do flat glass, residential, commercial buildings. Do a lot of shower doors. We love doing shower doors. I keep looking over your shoulder there, Scott. You told me it wasn't ours. I'm just wondering who did it. It's probably up the center.
And so just to give everyone an idea, how long were you in the service and where do you serve? And obviously, thank you for your service. We have General David Kumar there, past guest, saying hello.
Hi, sir. I was in for 22 years. I retired out of Fort Leavenworth. That was our final duty location when we got stationed at Fort Leavenworth. We fell in love with Kansas City, so it's very similar to where I come from. I'm originally from the Chicago suburbs. Grew up in a construction family. My father was a carpenter and a contractor. So Kansas City seems a lot like my home. And when I go back to my original home, it doesn't seem so much like my home anymore. I like the energy here, the way people have ideas and they're going to conquer the world, and I'm just happy to be around it. So thank you again for inviting me.
Before Aaron asks Corey a question, I'm a huge history nerd, and so there's only 2 places in the country where the Santa Fe, Oregon, and California meet, which is Independence, Missouri, the gateway to the west. So St. Louis actually took that term, and even though that was Independence, Missouri, and the real launching off point was 123rd and State Line, which is Leawood. That was where you went into Kansas territory. And now the largest intermodal, which is inland marine port in the country, is where Gardner is, where the 3 trails merge where people progress west. So if you live in the Kansas City area, there's a chance that the Santa Fe, Oregon, or California trail rolled through there. So there's your worthless history bar knowledge for the day. That's not on a business show, but I think it's interesting with the Santa Fe name of the company and dating back to 1958.
It reminds me of the old Apple IIe when I was a kid, and you had the little wagon and Oregon Trail, and you're leaving Independence, Missouri. You have enough sets of clothing and enough oxen, make the decision whether you're going to be a banker or a carpenter. Yeah.
Scott, I think one day we're going to have you on here when you start your new business. You know, like when you go in New York and they have the walking tours, you need to buy yourself a bus and do a history bus tour one day, like when you're old.
Yeah, I'll just get everyone loaded on barbecue and booze and just, it'll be fun, but worthless knowledge. So unlike this show that gives you great business knowledge. So keep going. I distracted everyone.
Well, I love Oregon trails. So, and I saw Tammy's face lighten up over there because she's been in tech for a long time. Yeah. Corey, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get here?
I'm Corey Brown. I work for a manufacturing company in South Kansas City and Grandview. We've been around since 1978, and we focus on precision CNC machining. We also do some custom injection molding, some automation. Very diverse in the industries we serve as well as the services we provide.
And then also you somehow you have like 7 other jobs. So tell us about your kids. You recently went back to get another degree, and then you recently took over a different part of holistically the company. So give everyone the personal background and a little bit more about your recent change in what you do day to day in the last year or two.
Yeah. I've got three boys. I've got a 5-year-old, and then I've got twin. They're almost 2 years old now. So it's complete chaos at our house. Luckily, it's quiet right now. I don't know how, but it is. And then I got my bachelor's at K-State in engineering, and I went back and got my MBA here about 2 years ago. Finished my MBA up at KU. And then January 1st, I became president of the company. So taking over more of the day-to-day operations, and then we're kind of finishing out our transition plan between my dad and myself of the company. So we're about 2.5 years away from completing that transition.
When I met Corey, I was like, "Wait, you're about to have twins, and you're getting your MBA, and you run a company? What are you doing? It sounds like you have no time." But just to give everyone a little idea, what does a typical client look like for your organization, or who are some of your favorite industries you like to serve?
It could be anybody. I mean, it could be somebody off the street that has an idea we work with, all the way up to Department of Energy, Department of Defense. So it's really diverse. So we do anything from onesie, twosies parts all the way up to millions of parts for a customer.
I'm really excited to get into your leadership because I find it very interesting. You did something at the beginning that a lot of females do, but I don't see males do very often. They say I work for a company versus I'm the president of the company.
Yeah.
So I want to dive into that in a little bit. Okay. Right now, I want to tell everybody over here, I need you to comment and start asking your questions now, because what happened last week is people asked us questions as the show ended, and then I couldn't ask the questions. So I encourage you to get your questions going over here and start networking. We're going to talk about COVID. We thought we'd be done talking about COVID. And today it's even weirder because it's even a weirder world today, right? Because we're all stuck at home. I know we were kind of talking in the waiting room earlier about the power outages and stuff like that. It's kind of a rough day on top of COVID. But let's talk. Let's spin it, make it positive. Let's talk about your biggest win this past year. Tammy, let's start with you. What's been your biggest win? We know people love hearing wins here on this show.
Thank you. So yeah, biggest win. First of all, Corey, that you did your MBA. I'm in my MBA program at Rockhurst right now. So if I have questions, I'm just going to come to you. That's all I'm saying. So that's one win.
You're with Linda Endicott?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, the past guest and just one of the most amazing people in Kansas City.
She's never been on the show. She hasn't told us yes yet. She's very reserved.
She's amazing. I'll shrug her a little bit then.
I've been asking her all year. I'm gonna get her one day. I just go wear her down.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll touch bases and see what I can do. But yeah, so one of our biggest wins is we have rolled out a program at De La Salle Educational Center, which is so amazing. Myself and co-founder Dr. Philip Hickman, we decided that we wanted to have a year cohort of students to roll through our program. So we started with a freshman cohort that we'll be teaching these kids from freshman all the way up to their senior year in high school. So just imagine if you have these kids learning everything from, cybersecurity to Python to React to JavaScript and all these other languages on top of soft skills that they can utilize throughout these 4 years. When they hit their junior year, we will be working with them to be mentors as the other freshmen and roll up to the program. But another thing, they'll also be working with our business partners. So we'll reach out to many of our partners to see if they'll be able to do some internship as well as work with them being web developers, mobile developers, and social media managers, because at that time they've already learned enough to be able to work with other senior level developers, as well as mentor the kids that are coming in. So that's one of our biggest wins. When COVID hit last year, we were in person on 50th and Prospect. And when COVID hit, it was pretty easy because of the technology that we were able to quickly pivot to an online learning program, which has opened up doors to us that we have kids from Canada to New York to Virginia. I mean, it's amazing that these kids not only are learning about kids in the urban core in their home, but also working with kids from Canada and just all over the place. So it's been exciting to learn the different cultures that our kids come with. And that's, like I said, that's one of our biggest wins.
I have a very random question. Are the Canadian kids really polite?
They are. Oh my!
They're so nice, and I have adult friends from Canada, and they are all so kind.
These kids, when I tell you, it was a sister and brother. They came in, and then all of a sudden they started inviting all their friends. So I'm like, where are all these Canada kids coming from? And it's like they just started inviting their friends, and they're like, we don't have a program like this that we can learn about technology. They're super duper smart. And just love to open up, share about their, what they're going through. At the end of our class, we always allow the kids to come on and share what they've learned for the past hour and a half. So it also gives them public speaking skills. So they're so open to jump in and engage, help other people, help other kids. And it's just like peer programming. If you're working with other developers, exact same thing. They work with the kids very closely. So yes, they are very, very smart and very nice. So yeah.
I went to a Canadian wedding, and wow, so true. Everyone's super nice, but also what you're doing is big business. There's some Kansas City companies here, for instance, one in particular, I won't name in case they're your competition, that has a really big contract with Cerner, getting talent right out of school. And, I think Corey and Jim can comment on skilled labor. I think a lot of times we don't think of coding as skilled labor and what that college bubble looks like when someone can come out and go through your program, Absolutely. No debt, and making better money. And so, the crazy and cool thing is, 3 years, 4 years from now, just make sure you remember everyone on this show so we can use your lake house when you're charging the big companies a ton of money for everything that you're helping train. Yeah, because it's a big business. And I didn't realize if people they want to hire an 18-year-old. They don't want to hire someone that's 30, 40 some years old. You'd rather train them right out of school.
Absolutely. And these kids, they gravitate to tech. I see so many kids. I was talking with someone the other day, and she said her son does not want to do sports. He didn't want to do anything, and just got to talking about a Raspberry Pi. I mean, his eyes lit up because they get engaged with this, and because they can tinker with things. So yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a phenomenal program, and I'm very excited about it.
And I love what you're doing because also it's been a very white man's game. There hasn't been a ton of diversity in coding for a long time.
This is true. This is true. I've been in this game for a long time, and many, many times I have been the only female and the only Black female at that. I've worked in different arenas and have gone to Microsoft, have gone to, different organizations. And yeah, it's like, oh, you're the developer or you're the trainer. And it is difficult. A lot of times we get challenges. I see so many females that are getting Black and white. I mean, doesn't matter the race, get out of technology due to the challenges, due to not getting promoted. It's tough, but it's so worth it. And so I encourage any female that wants to get in technology, take a leap. It's so worth it. It's a very lucrative career. I've been in it and probably wouldn't change it for the world. I just want to make sure kids get more exposed, especially urban core kids get more exposed to technology.
Well, and it makes sense, right? Because I know, like, at least in our circles, like all of the kids, they know video games like the back of their hands, right? Like, why wouldn't they know this? So, all right. Well, that is awesome. I've been watching you. I knew you were doing some awesome stuff. Tiffiney, what are some of the big wins you all have experienced during this crazy year?
I think it was what we touched on earlier. The fact that we launched November 1st and we had so many businesses join us from right out of the gate is huge. We talk a lot about how women have been like put into competition with each other for so long that I think women are like craving the opportunity to come together and be authentic. And so a lot of what we're doing is really like bringing that atmosphere of collaboration over competition into a retail setting. When we started out, we didn't really know how to promote ourselves besides social media. I've worked in social media for like 15 years now. And so besides that, it was kind of limited on how do you get the word out besides pop-ups. And I know a lot of other women starting out have the same struggles. So we've had so many tell us that like just the opportunity to come and promote their products on our platform in addition to their own has been huge. So I think being that support system and that connection point is my biggest win and everything I want to accomplish in life. Like, I just want to provide that platform.
I'm going to tell you what, you got to check out Tiffiney's stuff. You should order some stuff for your wife, Scott. I know she just had a birthday, but she has some of the best shirts and then some of the best, like, I thought I had the sticker sitting around here, but there's like a cupcake sticker she sent me one day. Like, it's all just so pro women. And what I love is that they're walking the walk when they're talking the talk too. What's that cupcake say?
Cupcakes are just muffins who believed in themselves.
Aaron, I love that you knew it was my wife's birthday. I now have like 2 work wives with Melissa Oliva and now Aaron Poole. So it's like, God, you gotta go home. You gotta make sure to bring flowers.
I love it. Stickers. My daughter's got it in her room too. So awesome.
I really want to talk to you, Tammy, because while we're an online platform, we're also like all our vendors keep reaching out to us and asking about all this custom stuff. And while I'm a web designer, I'm not a coder. But I do have experience in social media. So if there's any, especially if you have girls who code, if you want to talk about maybe some collaborations, I would really welcome the help and the opportunity to work with some teenage women.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Definitely connect.
Awesome. Love it.
Scott, Tammy's also building out the George app, Jaron Thornhill's platform too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And these kids did an amazing job. I mean, I cannot wait to roll it out, but they did an amazing job. And it was so funny because I told Jaron, I said, Jaron, these kids keep coming up with things that you didn't put there. And they're like, well, Miss Tammy, we need to do this and we need to do that. So they just completely jumped on board with it. And so it's amazing. It's amazing.
Kids' imaginations are insane, right? We should bring
They
them
are insane.
more board meetings. Jim, I'm interested in how your business has been going, especially as both like the housing market's been insane and redoing houses and stuff. What's been your biggest win during this, and how has all of everybody deciding to redo their house affected you all?
So, yeah, Santa Fe Glass had its best year ever last year. So we don't qualify for like PPP, all that assistance. So in a lot of different ways, the business grew, and we're looking to keep growing. So of course the remodeling people did it pushed really hard into their like bathrooms. I'm sorry, my wife is running back around. I'm trying to make sure that out of our master bath. Strangely enough, as we were looking to acquire a company, we were remodeling our bathroom, and the remodeler was talking. They were trying to sell themselves on the fact that they were using this glass company for the shower doors and how amazing they were, and family-owned company with great people, and everybody loves being there, and they do the best work. So personally, that was like a maybe providence for us as we were starting to look around for business. But the company really did great through that boom that you mentioned. The COVID, a lot of things came out with COVID. If you think about all of the plexiglass and the heavy glass screens that businesses put up, that all came through glass companies. We did very well on that, and it kind of sad to say, but we also the company did great through like the riots. You go down and you knock windows in the plaza, when people are looting, and that yeah, that company did great. That was a boon. I wouldn't want to wish that on any business, but yeah, it was very good for our glaziers. It was good for our tradesmen who usually have, they have enough trouble, making ends meet and building their own lives up. So it was good for everybody involved on our side. And unfortunately, it was a little hard on the insurance companies. So it's been great. Yeah, it's a good place to be.
Well, we love talking about when company just did well during COVID, because unfortunately, I think the media shows us all the stories of when they didn't.
Yeah.
And right now is probably the best time to become an entrepreneur, right? So we like people to hear that companies, we all have seasons. And so we'd love to celebrate the businesses that are having their seasons right now.
Yeah.
That's great. It's called the PPP. I'll tell you all about it offline.
Yeah, and I know I messed this up in our intro before the guest came on, but replying to people who've made comments, do I?
Yeah. Well, we're going to get in there and we're going to ask those questions next.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Good question.
Got it.
That was a good question. And if you have questions,
Rule number 2, don't curse.
get them over here. Yeah.
I don't think I did. I do sometimes by accident.
No, you didn't. I'm just saying there's only 2 rules.
2 rules.
Okay,
all right.
2 rules.
It looks like Corey's quietness.
Don't talk about Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club.
Those are the 2. So just so everybody knows, we ask people not to respond to your comments till we pull them up, since we're on a couple different platforms. So I think I made it confusing earlier. We will head over to you, Corey. I see you have yourself on mute and you're kind of like this. Are you ready to answer?
No, yeah, we're good. I just trying to keep one of the kids at bay. So
I get it.
Yeah, that's the way it feels, Scott.
Stiff arm them. Yeah, they're kids. They're 2. You can trip them. I got a 3-year-old.
Well, the 2-year-olds are screaming in their crib right now. So they got about 30 more minutes that they got to sit there, and then we'll get them out. So it's all right.
No better than having teenagers. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah. So
what's been your big win, Corey?
I think we had a very successful culture initiative. We've grown considerably over the past few years, and we wanted to make sure that the culture of the past kind of remained as we grew, and felt that was very important for the future, to make sure that, as we grow, we still continue to be the company we are, the heart of, what we are. So we went through quite a few culture sessions, I guess you could say, and had a consultant come in and we're able to kind of put on paper what myself and my dad's, core values are, and what the core values of the company are, and really roll that out to the team, and get the buy-in from the team that this is who we are. We're not changing. We're just putting it on paper to make sure that as we add people and as we grow, they understand who we are, and they buy into it as well.
Right. And you took over during this. Was that already planned?
Yeah, that was planned.
Okay.
It's been a transition. So it's been almost 7 years now. Just taking over more of the day-to-day operations, and my dad's still CEO, and I still rely on him, but we're just kind of transitioning that out.
I was going to say,
does your dad ever brag and he's like, Corey, good job to pick a time to take over a company, huh?
No. We're all in it together. I mean, it's the team, and you're always going to have your ups and downs. So it's better now to learn through what we're going through than learn in the good times and then you hit the bad times. So now is the good time to learn and struggle through, and it makes us even better when it comes out the back end.
I was going to say, your dad might have had some of that insider information, like 2019 when every CEO stepped down and we were like, what's going on? That's a conspiracy theory.
He's still heavily involved and still there. He's just more working on the business, and him and I are collaborating on that, and then handling the day-to-day stuff.
Nice. Well, I want to get more into working with family in a little bit, but first I want to invite Wendy Reynolds, the CEO of Bank of Blue Valley, our sponsor.
Here?
She always makes time for us every single week. She shows up. Isn't that crazy? We're so excited. Okay, this is a really cool question because of our panel today, because you guys are in such different industries. And so I think this will be really interesting. So get ready. And then Tammy will have you answer as soon as Wendy's done.
Okay.
What are the most helpful technological platforms or products that you've used?
Probably the most helpful tech products that I've used as a small business owner was Zoho. I love Zoho because it is a platform that has all these amazing suite of applications, and you can customize it to any business. It has helped me, you know, as far as my CRM, and then also a lot of my clients that we have rolled that platform out to allow them to utilize that. It's much less expensive than some of the other platforms like Microsoft and Salesforce. But Zoho has been a great platform that we have put our clients on, and we've used ourselves as a CRM.
People love Zoho. I need to try it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
How about you, Tiffany? You've been building out all sorts of technological things.
We have, but I think ours are a little bit more traditional. Like I said earlier, I'm not a coder, I'm a designer. So I can't live without like WooCommerce and all of that. That's pretty much what we've built everything on. We just started our own little Facebook Live. We want to start selling women-owned alcohol brands through our website. So we're starting to do Facebook Lives where we review different alcohol brands every week. And then once we get so many people to buy in, we're going to apply for our liquor license. So we've been using StreamYard to kind of get that word out. And so ours are a little bit in Zoom, of course, but we're pretty more traditional as far as what's been really helpful for us this year.
Scott, do you know what WooCommerce is?
No.
It's a plugin on the website that allows you to sell stuff, to make it a shop.
Yeah, it's a plugin. So we use that, and they have a multi-vendor marketplace plugin that we use so that all of our brands have a little dashboard within our website.
And I apologize. You had a killer setup you were talking about muffins and cupcakes, and I messed up your joke by making a comment right in the middle of it. And I want you to do it again because I apologize. It was a good one.
Oh, wait, which joke?
Hey, just tell them what the sticker said again.
Oh, cupcakes are just muffins that believe in themselves.
Yeah, I didn't give a chance for the punchline to Kate, and I interrupted to start talking. I talk too much. So I'm already.
Did I get the birthday gift?
I know. So, Jim, I'll transition to you, and then Aaron will transition to Corey. What's a piece of technology that's been really imperative to your growth that you've utilized?
So, I mean, realizing we're in the trades, right? And a lot of our employees are not incredibly technologically savvy. I've got a workforce that trends older and analog by a lot. But I will say that the fleet tracking devices that we use, and we've gone through various, started Verizon and then moved to AT&T Fleet, and now we're moving into Geotab, which is T-Mobile's version. Yeah. They help a lot. They help the entire organization move all across Kansas City, and they're simple. They're very simple to use. So my 68-year-old refusing to retire glaziers who call up their kid whenever they want to use Facebook or something like that, they're still able to get in there and they can see where the jobs are. They can see where the other glaziers are when we're moving material around the city and things like that. So that by far that's the most important piece of technology we have.
Fun fact, did you know that the number one demographic that's using Facebook the most is 65 plus now?
I believe it.
Yep.
I believe it.
Anyone that has a grandparent's like, yeah, we get it.
I believe it.
At this point.
Kids have picked us off of all of those. So they're all on TikTok and Snapchat. So
following Tiffiney over at TikTok. Corey, what's been your number one technology?
I think probably like Zoom and GoToMeeting. In the day and age where we can't go door to door and meet with our customers, we've had to set up a lot of Zoom and GoToMeeting conference calls, do seminars, do training sessions with our distribution, things like that. So it's general. I mean, it's everybody's using it, but from the standpoint of the business, it's kind of become the lifeline where we can't go and see people in person for the time being. We can do some training. We can show our screen. We can have meetings in person, but not in person.
I mean, Zoom did it right. There's quite a few of them, right? But now they've quickly become a household name.
No.
So we totally get it. All right, we are going to start jumping into questions. I love that technology question. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally get this. We're going to start jumping into questions. So if you have a question, get it in there now. I did want to say, Matt Moylan did want to point out that Scott is back in his bathroom. So it's snow day.
I mean, if it's Les Brown, if it's Quentin Luca, if it's Sly James, or if it's this panel, I'm in the bathroom.
He's in the bathroom. So earlier, David, we pulled up his comment. We didn't really talk to it, but we pulled it up. David also is a veteran. And James, he wants to know, what were the major factors that made you decide to buy a company?
Oh, that's good.
And were you looking, I'm going to add to that, were you looking for a veteran-owned company? Or did that just work out like that?
No, and honestly, why I did that. Number one was, I got out of the Army, I retired, and I went to work for Sprint, and it was a fun company full of all kinds of incredibly talented, very, very smart people that was making incredibly questionable decisions. And I got brought in the transformation office. I was working like kind of for the C-suite to help them track information down, and I really thought, wow, there's nothing special about these people, and if I had a telecom company, I would certainly make better decisions than what's going on here. So that inspired me to start looking. And as far as the landing in a glass company, we started the search looking for a veteran-owned company, which immediately stirred up a lot of what I would call more stereotypically veteran-owned companies, like, hey, I retired 5 years ago and I'm a consultant, and I do, I had a job once, that kind of thing, or I really am just living in my retirement. Or I was a private in the Army back in 1968, and I've been struggling for 45 or 50 years, and maybe you could buy my handyman company. So that was a very strange period in time when my broker was looking through those responses we were getting back. It was not the normal kind of small businesses we were looking for. But then once it turned to just a search for kind of well-established, consistently growing, stable small businesses, what I found was that then, when we weren't specifically looking for veteran-owned businesses, we turned up a lot of veterans they were running under the radar. A lot of the good businesses that we were looking at were veteran-owned. They didn't have it on a billboard with neon lights out in front of it. So
it makes sense. You're pretty disciplined.
Yeah. We're trying to work the same group that I came through, the brokerage and acquisition company that helped me. We're setting up like a veterans fund to help other veterans try and acquire. The other part of this is we've got a lot of small businesses, nice, stable small businesses that have been around for a long time, with an aging population of owners who they don't, nobody can fire you. You're kind of not allowed to quit, because then all your employees don't have anywhere to work.
Transition plan.
Yeah. So, and finding people to acquire those businesses, we have a pool of veterans that have run large organizations that are dependable, solid people. It's just putting the pieces together and getting the financing, and it's a heck of a lot of work to buy a company. You think you just go get the financing, but no, it's like 6 to 12 months worth of paperwork almost to get it straight. So that's kind of the future. That's what we're working towards. And I love Santa Fe Glass. I'm looking forward to helping the next couple guys in line do the same thing.
I like that.
Who's the broker that you use?
That was the DVS group. Kevin Lindsay and Ben Olson. Kevin's kind of the idea guy. The DVS group out of Overland Park. Delta
I
Victor.
just want to give them a little shout out. They, Janine Anchors, that bought her business for $800,000, now runs Data File Technologies. That's over 400 employees. And so, you know, you never know. And getting access to that information or just knowing it could be a good way to do it. And that's great, Jim, that you're helping others do the same.
I was going to say, our friend Randy, he keeps commenting over here. He's been acquiring businesses over the past year, and watching him, yes, it's a lot of work, but it's good work because he gets so excited. He purchases businesses where he can see that the employees, they're looking for a way to keep on their employees, right? And it's been really fun to watch and talk to him about. All right, this question is going to be for Tammy and for Corey. Morgan says, ouch, you all. Making time to go back to school feels painful. I'm not getting credit for some of my work right now due to a lack of masters, but I'll have to slow down to get that degree. Thoughts? Let me tell you, I know Morgan personally. She's over at the library. She runs Square One Library. So what are your thoughts on, is it worth it to go back and get her degree if she knows that she will get credit at work, and kind of what to prepare for? Let's start with you, Tammy, and then we'll go to you, Corey, because you're in the middle of it. And then, Corey, you've got was it worth it afterwards?
I think it will be worth it. I was very intimidated initially. Of course, Linda has been an amazing mentor to get me through that program. But when I started, everyone that's in some kind of way, all of my classmates are physicians, neurosurgeons, plastic surgeons. And I'm like, how did I get in the middle of this? But it's amazing that they talked about, because I'm probably the least person that that's involved with this program, but they're like, you know, the only thing we know is medicine. You bring, you know, entrepreneurship and corporation. So it was very intimidating initially, but I think it's totally worth it. I think it's helped me as a leader, and it's helped me run my business more effectively. All the projects that we have been working on. So, and then just most importantly, the collaboration with my classmates. So I think it's totally worth it.
How about you, Corey?
It was worth it. I think the peer collaboration was probably the best thing. I was in the working professional program at KU, and it was you had to have 5 to 10 years of business experience before you could join. Yep. So everybody was some sort of business and had been in industry, and so being able to bounce ideas and there was more the collaboration than it was learning was the value. So I'd say behind Vistage, that was the number 2 thing from the standpoint of growing as a leader and learning was adding that to the resume.
Corey, can you explain what Vistage is? And then Jim also is in the Vistage as well.
Yeah, it's a business peer group for C-level executives. I know they have some other groups for other positions, but I've been with them for a little over a year now, and just the knowledge that you gain from people that have been in industry from 10 years to 30 years. I'm the young one in my group, so it's been good to learn from the older crowd.
I have a very important question. When KU plays K-State, since you have degrees from both, who do you root for?
I was the black sheep when I went to K-State, so we grew up a KU family, and so I vote KU, but then my wife is a big K-State fan, so it becomes a rivalry in the house.
Good thing you have twins. You can dress them in each twin.
All the kids are in KU, so I'm starting them young.
Well, we have some more comments over here. Miss Deborah Rourke, she is saying hello. Philip had said, what a time to transition. And I want to pull up a very important question that Philip asked as well. And then Tiffiney, this one's for you. What sort of alcohol are you looking to sell?
Everything. So we got the ball rolling when Fence Style Winery, which I believe is an Excelsior, reached out and asked if we could sell alcohol from our platform. One of our other brands asked if we could sell their absinthe. So those 2 questions kind of got us rolling down the question. I reached out to the Department of Alcohol. I can't remember the actual name of the department, but talked to a really great guy who gave me feedback on what we needed to do. So it's really not that expensive, but I want it all. I want wine. There's a really great beer company out of Olathe, I believe. Buzzballs. I mean, I want it all. I have some rum that I just found from a distillery in Colorado that I've been sipping on the last few days. Austin cocktails out of Colorado or out of Texas. Yeah, bring it all.
So you're going to do a tasting with absinthe on the live? Let us know when that is.
Exactly.
I mean, it's made in California, so I don't think it's the hallucinogenic kind, but yeah, I'm excited.
I love that.
That's
All right. Tammy, we have a comment question here for you. Miss Angela says she's so impressed that WeCodeKC is working on the soft skills in addition to the tech skills. Do you limit or encourage social posting as they most likely have to sign MNDAs for internships? Very interesting model.
Yeah, we make sure our kids are very careful on social medias. Definitely have to sign the MDA so that, they can be careful when they're working with our business owners. But yeah, it's been great. We do encourage social media. We have a couple of kids that wanted to do some TikToks. So we probably reach out to Aaron and Tiffiney to help us with that. Yeah, they need to know about, these social media so that they can work with the businesses. So yeah, it's been great.
Scott, have you seen, I actually saw the story on CNN today, but I've been watching it on TikTok. Did you know that crying, laughing emoji is now, if you're using it, you're an old person?
I hear that you're just an old person in general if you talk in emojis, which I do.
Ooh.
Well, that, and then if you wear your hair to the side, that's the new thing on TikTok. That means you are, and here's my old, they're calling millennials old. So you're a millennial, Gen Z. There's all sorts of things. The whole thing here, Tammy has to deal with on top of just business.
Exactly.
Which has been
Yeah,
really.
no, it's important though, because I mean, for you as a creative, you're hiring that demographic, and so being able to speak the language, we all can't make money if we can't hire talent at X rate to give ourselves a margin to make money. And so being able to communicate and relate can save us money to grow and start our businesses. So it's really important. Aaron, may I ask Tammy a question before we go into our icebreaker?
Yes.
So we have some people, obviously we have folks that work in the trades. What do you think about COVID popping the college bubble a little bit? I think enrollment in higher education is down. I'm going to mess this up, so someone will correct me in the chat. Something like 15% or 20% in enrollment. So, what does that mean for your business, and just any thoughts in general?
I don't knock college by any means. I really don't. If someone wants to go to college, definitely by all means do it. At the same time, the programs that we're providing, again, I think Aaron said it earlier, that they get out of these high school without any college debt. And technology is a industry and a space that you can actually better off getting certifications. Again, I'm not knocking college, but if a person does not have the capabilities, the funds, or even the just want to go to college, they can still be very successful in technology by creating or taking certifications.
I want to add on to that. I mean, like, I have a graphic design minor and I make t-shirts and stuff, which is obviously graphic design. And I graduated in 2001. So most everything I do now is self-taught because the technology has changed so much. I mean, Facebook came out when I was in college. I've had to learn how to be a social media marketer, everything past college. Absolutely. So Tammy's right on track. I have so many certifications that I've had to do post my bachelor's degree.
Yep.
I think it's interesting because even with Jim's business, I sat on the Hispanic Chamber Board, 4 or 5 years ago now, and we were talking trades. And the certifications, you go to trade school and you get out and you make so much more money in the long run without taking that. And so I almost wonder if it would be down anyways, just because Gen Z is so, I'm sure COVID has something to do with that. But what would the numbers be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want things like immediately. They don't want to wait. They don't want the 4 years. They want success immediately.
Do they want to use their hands and work hard?
That's what we're facing, is we can't find.
Are they just looking for a different way to? I mean, that's the problem. I mean, I mean, that's the problem we're seeing. So we don't have a trade school that leads into being glaziers. I mean, there are a couple in the U.S., but generally we pull apprentices off, and they, you come and be an apprentice, and it pays pretty well. and you learn the trade. But it's hard to get people in who are just kind of willing to do the work.
Yeah.
Or get dirty.
Period. Yeah.
Corey, go ahead. What would you say about it?
Well, I was just going to say it's that people are drawn to the technology, but the trades are not necessarily all technology. And that's what we're fighting is, we still have manual machinists and tool makers and there's nobody really trained. There's a couple of community colleges around the area that help, but there's also a couple of companies that basically snag everybody up before they graduate. And you're fighting that. So we just try and bring people in that want to work, that don't mind getting dirty, and then we'll send them to school.
Yeah, there's a huge cultural issue with people. Yeah, they want to go into jobs, like they want to sit in the C-suite someday, and that's cool. I want to sit there too, but somebody needs to turn the wrenches. I mean, and there's a lot of money in it, and not everybody is Bill Gates.
So quick question. So Jim, if you are a installation person after 5 years at your company, what are you typically about? What would your salary look like? And then Corey, if I'm a machinist with 5 years of experience, what would my salary look like? And I know it varies, but just
we're not going to compete with a machinist, I bet, but we're probably about $25 an hour.
Okay. Corey,
probably actually very similar.
Okay.
So I think what I'd love to have young people learn 14, 15, 16 is finance.
Yes.
We all say do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I was sold, I was millennial, and everyone just rammed college down my throat. I didn't know I was dyslexic until I was 28, but I guarantee I would have gone into the trades and I would have been a very, very happy and financially successful because of not having the debt at 18, 19, 20 and being able to save. So, hopefully the conversation here, I'm going to ask a quick icebreaker. And then
I want to say something to this, though. I did just recently read a study, right? And to Jim's question, do they want to work? I did recently read a study, and I think that it's important we understand the generations we're talking about. Gen Z is about 13, 14 years old to about 24, 25, right? And then we've got millennials up to 40. The study that I read is that actually Gen Z is now the generation that's getting their hands dirty, and they want instant money, and they don't care how they have to work for it because they're planning for retirement again. They're planning to go on traveling. They want the money versus all of the time and the C-suite. Because in my own business, we've had a lot of that with millennials. So it'll be interesting to see the 18, 19-year-olds and what they're going to do. I haven't hired anyone that young. Just in the study that I read.
Still, if you take off for a year at a time, you're probably not gonna amass that money either. Right. How many surveys are you doing on 12-year-olds, right? I wish there was a survey on when I was a 12-year-old. I would, see some pretty amazing stuff about the rocket ships I'd be flying right now.
They took shop out of high school. So again, there's your trades that a lot of kids don't get a chance to get exposed to that either. So, maybe we can
I wish we could take I'm a vet. I wish I could take everybody and throw them in the Army for a year, and I wish I could make everybody have to go work with their hands in ditches for a year. And then if they want to, if they go from there and they're going to be, I don't know, like figure something out that you'd never have to get dirty again, an interior designer or something like that. That's fine, but as long as everybody had the experience, they get the baseline. They get yelled at by some screaming foreman, who says they're not working fast enough.
Or service. Like, everybody should have to, I feel like everybody should have to either get their hands dirty or work in the service industry.
Yeah, we could do a 3-year program. The third year is you're a waitress and you get yelled at by some lady who says their food is horrible.
So I'll let Aaron transition. Funny you say that. 10 years ago, I was wearing an apron with a college degree in a recession, waiting tables at the Blue Moose, praying I did not get sat with a bunch of older people that were going to put a bunch of sugar packages in their iced tea and give me 50 cents. So that is like my nightmare, was waiting on tables for them. So Aaron, what do we got? I know we're getting that
hour.
We're
on time. Let me ask you one quick question. Did you work at the Blue Moose in Prairie Village?
No, that was the big time. I was out south. That's where you made it.
I worked there one day. So I didn't know if we worked
There you
together.
go.
I didn't know if this was our second go around because it wasn't a great day for me. So anyways, I just want to thank everybody so much for watching today. I want to thank Bank of Blue Valley for, again, being an amazing sponsor that allows us to bring on so many great entrepreneurs. Please connect with everyone on this show. Send business to everyone on the show. This is such a great panel. We are very intentional on who we bring on. So we thank you so much for watching. Reach out to us for questions, and we'll add the links for Mentoring Monday. Go get signed up. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.